This video is going to be about money. And if you just jumped on that and went, oh my God, is Jay going to tell me how to make money? That's not what this is about, so forget it. This is about what a lot of people are talking about right now of charge your worth, charge your worth, charge your worth, Jade. Come on, up your prices, charge what you're worth, know your worth. I just want to say that just like the old Matrix, we're equating money with worth, and you cannot charge what you are worth because what you are worth is priceless. I wish I could brand this in all you guys' minds out there. What you are worth is priceless. And there are people who are actually attempting to charge what they're worth, and it's just like ridiculous prices. Like, it's just ridiculous. You're ripping people off in the name of, I know my worth. I know that I'm worth this amount of money, but like, you can't put a number on it. You can't put a number on what you're worth. And Jesus was the embodiment of this, right? Like, he didn't charge a single cent for his offerings or for his services, for his miracles. Do you really think Jesus didn't charge because he had like unworthiness issues? Or like because he was like a people pleaser, like, I'm just going to give miracles to all you guys because I'm a people pleaser, and like nothing I do is ever enough, so I'm just going to give to all you guys, and like, no, it's so fine, it's free, you guys don't have to pay because I'm like just so unworthy and I don't deserve anything. Like, no, that's not what Jesus was like. Jesus was like, I know my worth, I am literally a son of God, and I have an infinite amount of miracles streaming through me that I can hand out to everyone. No bias. If you're a prostitute, a leper, a sinner, a prisoner, a rich man, who cares? All of you come to me and I can give you miracles, right? And I know you guys are going to say, well, we don't really live in a world like that, Jade. Like, we need to charge, yes, but we're charging way too much. We're pushing the limit to this. And in the spiritual space, it's like, yeah, we're pushing the limits, we're breaking paradigms, I'm breaking cycles, I'm getting my financial freedom, and like, cool. But like, you can get financial freedom in a genuine way instead of this, charging just ridiculous prices. Like, let's be real. And this whole thing about following what feels good. Follow what feels good. Watch that, because your ego can come in. Your spiritual ego can come in and say, oh yeah, like $500 for a 1 hour reading. Yeah, that feels good because that's going to make me rich. Are you kidding? That'll make me like travel to Fiji and back. Like, hell yeah, I'll do that. Of course that feels good. But is that really aligned? Up to you for you to figure that one out. But this is what happens with our spiritual ego, that when we start going down this spiritual journey, we learn all this spiritual jargon, and your spiritual ego is picking up all that jargon, and then it will use that against you. So when you're thinking about, what am I going to charge for my soul work? Your ego can come in, your spiritual ego can go, well, I think 555 is really, really aligned. Like, I feel like that's what my soul is calling. Like, I really feel drawn to that number for some reason, because it's going to make me rich. You really have to be careful. And I know, like, I'm speaking to people that are probably not even going to watch this video, and not, like, I have arguments with people about this all the time around spirituality and money, but something is really off in this spiritual space around money. And I don't even know how to talk about it, because it's just so like culty and weird. Like, it's so exclusive, which makes zero sense, because spirituality is all about wholeness and oneness. And, we're all in it together, we're all one, and we're all bringing each other home. But, we're only going to bring each other home if you pay me 10 grand. Like, you think I'm going to do it to you for free? No. Like, do you really think Jesus was standing there going like, I've done so much work to become holy, and like, my energy is so precious, so you're going to have to pay like $5,000 to be in my energetic container, like to be in my space, because I'm like, my energy is so precious. Like, no. Like, Jesus welcomed everyone, and there was no bias, and there is so much bias in the spiritual, so-called let's be all one space. But it's so exclusive, and it's just like the normal Matrix. It's just like it really flares me up because it makes me think of like the program that this society is living now, like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, that the money is just circulating amongst the rich people with some of these ridiculous prices that healers, psychics, mediums, mentors, coaches, whatever are charging. And there's like a couple people I want to talk about. I'm not going to say their names, but there's this guy and I absolutely love him. I love his work. He's just so divine. And he's a tarot reader, he's a psychic, he's channels information, talks to spirit, he does astrology and astrocartography. Like, this guy knows so much, he's so cool. And he seems so above it all, like he seems so split off and like he's cracked the simulation and he's out of the matrix. So I wanted to look at how much he charges for a reading or for a healing. And it was $777 US. Now that's $1,150 Australian for 1 hour. Like, what? And it shook me, and I was like glitching because I was like, how could this guy who I thought was like so beyond, I thought he was beyond the matrix, be charging so much? Because who are you helping? Who are you healing at that price? Because not many people have $1,000 lying around for a 1 hour reading. And like that's extreme. And there's another guy I absolutely love, just like pours infinite intelligence and wisdom out of his mouth. He's just so divine. And it was £555 for 1 hour reading. That's another $1,000 Australian for 1 hour. Now, time is limited, right? It's only 60 minutes. What are you telling me in 60 minutes that's $1,000? And Jesus didn't have any bias on like how much money people were, how much money people had. It was just everyone deserves healing. Everyone deserves this spiritual wisdom and this spiritual knowledge. But now it's like, no, you got to pay for it. You got to pay to be in my space. You got to pay to get this esoteric knowledge. Like, I called this Esoteric Jade so I could share this stuff and not have you pay like ridiculous amounts, because it bugs me so much that it's like the normal matrix. It's like it all just stays up in the elite group of people, that everyone, like only the elite knows what's going on in the world and the rest of us are just slaves and we have no idea. Like, it's exactly the same in this spiritual space of like all the spiritual wisdom gets stuck up where the rich people are at. And if you want to know, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay for it to know. And it's like, well, no, spiritual knowledge should be free. And by the way, it is, because you can tap into it yourself and get it. But people who are desperate and desperately seeking help and healing, like, we shouldn't have to pay such ridiculous prices for healing, because you're all worthy of healing no matter how much money you earn. And that's like the biggest thing that gets me about this spiritual, I'm attracting my soul family kind of thing. But you're only attracting your soul family that has 40 grand to pay you. It's like, that's not really your soul family, is it? Because you could have heaps of soul family that just can't like afford the prices that you're charging, and they could be your soul family and you could be helping them. You could be healing them, but you choose to charge ridiculous prices. Why? Is that your spiritual ego coming in and making it all about you? Because Jesus never made it about him. And whether you're religious or not, whether you think he's a real man or not, this story is like telling us how wrong we're doing it. And not meaning to judge, because I guess I am being judgy, don't mean to sound it, but like we're doing this so wrong. We're thinking about ourselves, we're thinking about our financial freedom, we're thinking about how much can sustain us. And, obviously we have to think about that in this world, but that's not what soul work is. If you're doing healings or energy clearings or readings or whatever you're doing for the end goal of making money, that's not soul work anymore, because you're making it about you. And when I like genuinely like put my hands on my heart and ask my soul, like, hey soul, or like, hey spirit, hey soul, however you want to say it, like, do you really want to make money? And my soul goes, no. And I asked her, I'm like, why? And she's like, no, I don't need, and like, that's not the goal. I'm not about making money, because because I know I'm always provided for, and I just want to help people. Like, that's genuinely what my soul says. And I wish I could tell people this. And the people who are making a mozza and who are super rich and traveling the world, they're not going to watch this video. And if they do, they're going to go, well, we don't care, Jade, that you don't like it, because I'm rich and I'm living my best life. But can you really like ask your soul, is this price really aligned for you? Or is it just like your ego going, yeah, of course it's aligned. Yes, it's aligned. Charge $1,000, charge $500, charge $350, like whatever it is, just charge that. Like, that is your internal greed. And we have to watch that even in this spiritual space, especially in this spiritual space, because things are so ridiculous. Like, prices of healing is just like going through the roof. And I see this new earth timeline of like everything, you know, going well, right? But I also see this timeline where we're getting to the point where like only rich people will be able to afford healing and clearings and Akashic record readings and psychic readings and like all these amazing things that, you know, we should all be allowed, and we're all worthy of having. But because we don't have the money, we can't get it. Like, I just don't think it's fair. And there's something, you know, and what is fair? Like, that's subjective as well. Like, I obviously am very strict about like a certain amount of money for 1 hour is only 60 minutes. Like, I have a certain number in my mind, and everyone's number would be different. But there's something just really off about the spiritual community and money. And it's so exclusive and yeah, just staying among the rich people, and just it's circulating among the rich. But like, how many people are you actually helping when you charge that much? Like, yeah, you want financial freedom. Yes, we live in a world where you know, cost of living is ridiculous. So from the reader's perspective, like me, I have to charge a certain amount so I can pay for rent and eat food and stuff. But people are charging like ridiculous amounts where like they can definitely pay for their meals, they can definitely pay for their mortgage or for rent, but they purposely up it even more because another program is that like the more you pay, the better you are, right? Because that's another program. Like, oh, she's a really expensive healer, she must be good. And then we'll fork out that amount to pay it. But like, that's, you can't equate energy work with a price. Like, you actually can't price energy work because it's energy, it's soul work. It's not about the price, it's not about the money. And if you're making it about the money, which so many people are, I personally don't believe that's soul work. You're not like these people who are preaching like, I'm all about raising the collective and raising consciousness of humanity and stuff. But only the people in humanity that can afford to be in my space, that can afford like 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 150,000, some of them, to get this spiritual wisdom and this spiritual knowledge. Like, it's just ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. And I know like I'm talking to no one, because like the people who would watch this aren't the rich people I'm talking about, but there's something seriously off about the spiritual space and healing and the amount of money we have to pay, because everyone's worthy of healing, everyone deserves healing. And even me, like, I feel like I should drop my prices because I can extend out and help more people. And then people go, no, Jade, you should up your prices. You live on the beaches. Like, there's rich people everywhere. Like, you could make more money. And my ego jumps on that and is like, oh my God, yeah, Jade, maybe we could make more money off this. Like, maybe this would work. But I sit with my ego and I go, nah, like, it's just, let's be real. We're trying to help as many people as we can. And that's the soul work. We need to like get out of this elitist, you know, exclusive thing in spirituality and start, you know, I'm not telling people to drop their prices, but maybe drop your prices, like $1,000 for a 1 hour reading or $350 for a 1 hour reading. Like, come on, guys. Like, we all deserve healing. And I don't care if you live on the beaches or, you know, live in New York. Like, it's not about the money, and it never has, and it never should be. And if it is for you, like, you really need to sit with your spiritual ego and maybe have a conversation, because it might be that. But yeah, sorry for the rant, but I hope people get this. Just, it's all about soul work.